Our visit to the 49th state is quickly coming to a conclusion. We knew there would be incredible sights to see, but still, we were pleasantly surprised when we arrived. The wildlife has been incredible. The scenic mountains, glaciers, seaports, rural communities, historic locations, museums, native culture, riverboats, float planes, sled door teams have all been fantastic. We traveled throughout the state from Valdez, the Kenai Peninsula, Seward, Whittier, Anchorage, Talkeetna, Denali, Fairbanks, the Arctic Circle, North Pole, and Tok. 2 days ago, we began a long trip back home, along with keepsake memories of the Alaska leg of our golden anniversary adventure. After spending a restful night boondocking at the turnout for the trailhead at Lisa Lake, some 41 miles past Delta Junction, we continue our journey home along the Alcan Highway and cross the Johnson River. Named after Lieutenant Alan Johnson, a Swedish miner back in 1897. The river heads at the terminus of the Johnson Glacier and eventually flows into the Tanana River. The Robertson River is one of the most beautiful rivers in Alaska. It travels through a wonderful wilderness area filled with trails for hikers. This side of the state of Alaska has some very special rivers to explore. The Robertson River is just one of the many wonderful sights. The whole area is extremely beautiful. The views are amazing, and the glacial ice on the rivers is like nothing else you're gonna see. The drive on the Richardson Highway, Alaska number 2, has been absolutely beautiful. The road thus far has been excellent, and the boreal forest, deltas, and huge mountain ranges on the horizon make it difficult to keep your eyes on the road. This area of Alaska, east of the Delta Junction, is plentiful in recreational camping areas, with several glacial rivers for fishing Arctic grayling, rainbow trout, and salmon, and spacious land management areas for hunting. The highway has numerous turnoffs for resting, sightseeing, and overnight boondocking. About 108 miles east of Delta Junction, we arrive at Tok, the last major town in Alaska on the Alcan Highway before the Canadian border. We'll stop off here and set up camp so that we can resupply and top off the gas tank. It's about 100 miles to the Canadian border, and our next stop is some 230 miles away at Destruction Bay in the Yukon Territory of Canada. It doesn't sound like a hefty distance, but we have been forewarned that this section of the Alcan is in horrible condition, and we can expect to travel many portions of it at speeds less than 40 miles per hour. It's going to be a long leg through one of the most sparsely populated sections of Alaska and Canada. We set up camp at the Tundra campground. This campground enjoys some great reviews, offering large pull-through shaded campsites available with water, sewer, and electric. They also have a free dump station. They have a large coin-operated laundry facility with a dozen machines and dryers, a nice roadhouse-style tavern, and an overall warm, friendly atmosphere to relax to and catch your breath after a long day's drive. Jane took advantage of the laundromat right away to catch up on a week's worth of laundry. Afterwards, we detached Equinox and drove into town to pick up some groceries at the Three Bears store, and later have dinner at the iconic Fast Eddie's restaurant. Fast Eddie's is truly an American diner-style restaurant, serving breakfast, lunch, dinner with steak, seafood, pasta, burgers, shakes, sandwiches, pies, ice cream. They have it all. We enjoyed a nice dinner there and returned to the campground for a peaceful, relaxing evening. The next morning, we break camp, fill our water tank, empty our gray and black tanks, hook up Equinox, and head out to what is to be our very last day in Alaska. Or maybe not. After all, Skagway and Hyder, Alaska are on our radar and are accessible by the Alcan and Yukon highways. We just might stop off at these somewhat isolated towns in Alaska. We'll have to see. On the way out of town, we stop off at the post office to send out some postcards, and then stop off at the gas station, top off the fuel tank, and away we go. Just a couple of miles outside of Tok, the once beautiful smooth roadway begins to deteriorate. You can see where the highway department has made some repairs, but we are now encountering rough patches and frost heaves that are causing concern and diligent focus on the road to avoid broken asphalt, potholes, and the numerous frost heaves. The image stabilization on my camera does a great job hiding just how rough this road actually is. If you watch the hood of the Cool Nana coach before you, you'll see the pitching up and down and side to side that we are encountering on this terrible road. We've now come to a section of construction where the pavement has ended, hopefully temporarily, and the road has become gravel washboard, slowing us down to about 25 miles an hour. The forewarnings we received about the eastern road conditions on Alaska number 2 heading into Canada are, unfortunately, very accurate. Besides being tossed around abruptly by changing lanes to avoid huge potholes and ruts, the intense concentration on the road is quite tiring. This very harsh road condition continued for another 45 miles. It's approximately 92 miles from Tok, Alaska to Beaver Creek, Yukon Territory. We averaged 25 miles an hour for much of this distance. We finally arrive at the Canadian border at 12:54 p.m. Alaska time, just about 4 hours after leaving Tok. There are about 6 vehicles ahead of us, so it looks like it may be a bit of a wait to clear Canada Customs. We have our Alcan form completed, passports, COVID vaccination certificates, insurance, and vehicle registration documents all ready. And after a 35-minute wait, we passed through Canada Customs in just 2 minutes. There is a 1-hour time change at the border, so now it's 2:30 Yukon time. We are now in Beaver Creek, Canada's most westerly town. We're looking forward to stopping off at the iconic Buckshot Betty's to grab a bite to eat. But it is closed, as are most of the businesses in this town. We grudgingly continue on for our next stop, which should be Destruction Bay, approximately 115 miles away. Although we had hoped for better, the road here in Canada isn't much better than the road was in Alaska. But we trudge on, knowing that once past Destruction Bay, much of the Alcan to Haines Junction has been reconstructed, and we should have a relatively smooth roadway. Located on the shores of Kluane Lake, Destruction Bay is one of several towns that grew out of the construction of the Alaska Highway. It earned its name when a storm destroyed buildings and materials there. It was one of the many relay stations spaced at 100-mile intervals to give truck drivers a break and a chance to repair their vehicles. Well, we have reached Destruction Bay. We'll stop off at the gas station and fill up before turning back to the rest area turnoff that we just passed. The rest area turnoff at Klutz Creek looks like a great place to boondock for the night, and a couple of other RVers have made the same choice. And guess what? They're also from Florida.
Want to see more? Check us out on Instagram on our Golden Anniversary Adventure page.